Hello everyone and welcome to cavertex.com, Canada's virtual exchange to buy and sell bitcoins. This is video number 4 in our series, and here I'm going to explain how to trade on Vertex. I'm going to talk about market orders, I'm going to talk about partial fills, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about trading and fees and all the frequently asked questions that I've been answering by email. I'm going to just give a video to show you them all in action. I think this video is a must view for any new trader coming to us. Okay, so as you can see here, I'm in my test environment. I've logged in to my test environment. This is not the live environment. And if we go to open trades, we can see the sellers on the right hand side, the buyers on the left hand side, and everything is neatly organized here in $1 increments. Okay, so the best deal I can get on a Bitcoin right now, if I want to buy a Bitcoin, is I have to look at the sellers, right? Because if you're buying something, you got to look at the sellers, not the buyers. We'll talk about that later. But I want to buy a Bitcoin right now. I got to look at the sellers if I want to buy right now, and I can see that someone is willing to sell me one Bitcoin at $21 per Bitcoin, making the total value of that sale $21. Okay? If I were to buy this Bitcoin from this person right now, then what would the next available price be for me to buy my second Bitcoin at? And the answer is 22. Okay, so it's important to understand that I can only buy one Bitcoin at this price. That's the first thing you need to understand about the order book, is you really got to look at these amounts. Okay, now you'll see a 1 out of 1. This last one right here is the total number of Bitcoins he wanted to sell. This first number right here is the number of remaining Bitcoins. In my first video, in video number 1, I bought half a Bitcoin. I bought 0.5. And then after the trade was completed, you saw 0.5 out of 1 right here, meaning there's only half a Bitcoin left at this price of $21. Well, let's go ahead and let's place a market order, a market trade to buy at market. Before we place a trade, remember there's only one Bitcoin available at 21. So we're going to press a trade. We're going to press one Bitcoin. And you'll notice these are reversed. The sell and the buy is sort of backwards, because on the previous screen you saw 18 on the left-hand side, 21 on the right-hand side. Don't get confused by that. That just means this trade screen just auto-populates the best market price to buy a Bitcoin. If you're buying a Bitcoin, remember you're buying them off a seller who's trying to sell Bitcoins, and the best deal to get a Bitcoin at right now is 21. So watch my balance here in the upper right corner. We have 75.14 Bitcoins before the transaction and 420.92 on the CAD balance. We're going to press buy. We're going to press confirm on this order. 21 cents is the fee, so $21.20 CAD. You're going to see my balance go down by $21.21, and you're going to see my Bitcoin balance increase by 1. And you just saw that. See? 76.14, and you saw my CAD go down. Now, before we go further, let's go to trade history so we can see how this works. Now, remember, we're under development. We're going to be adding a lot clearer and more concise reporting. We're going to allow you to sort your trades by fill, by cancel, all these things. But for right now, I just have to explain current state, and that's what I'm doing. This is current state. So if you look at the trade history, you can see here that on July 5th at 11:18 a.m. I was filled on an order to buy Bitcoins, and I was filled the entire fill amount. 1 Bitcoin got filled, so there was none remaining, and we're going to go through that in a second here. I was filled at the price of 21, even though I requested 21, which is the market price, and the price that it cost me was $21 without fees. That's in trade history. Okay? In account history, you'll see there are actually 3 records that are created here. 3 July 5th, 2011, 11:18 a.m. records. The first one shows a change in my Canadian balance. It shows that I want to pay $21 for a Bitcoin. The second record up here shows my change in Bitcoin balance. My Bitcoins went up by 1 to give me a total of 76.14. The last record shows the fee that I paid. It deducts 21 cents off of this number to give me my updated Canadian total, which you can see right here matches perfectly. Okay? So that's how you read transaction history and trade history. Alright, let's go back, and now let's put an order in place that is not a market order. Okay, let's go through that. So let's say I want to buy a Bitcoin, but I don't want to pay $22. Okay? Let's say I want to pay $18.50. I want to beat this guy. Let's go to open trades. I want to beat this guy up here, and I only want to beat him by a little bit, by $18.50. So let's go to trades, sorry. And now in buy BTC with CAT. I want to buy a Bitcoin. Let's buy 1 Bitcoin. And let's change this from 22 to say, no, I don't want to pay 22. I want to pay 1850. You are now higher than this guy here on the right. Let's press buy. There we go. 1 Bitcoin, 1850, fee 18 cents, 1868. Yes, we're going to confirm. Okay. Now you'll see an open trade on the bottom here. That means this is not filled. This is waiting for someone to take it. Let's go back to open trades, and now you can see that you are the top guy right here. You're on the upper left. You're the top guy that you are offering 1850. So all these guys over here that are the sellers of the Bitcoins are looking and watching this screen, and they're saying, wow, okay, someone just offered 1850 instead of 18. I may want to come down. So you may have a seller that now wants to change his mind and say, I may want to come down a bit, and I may want to accept his offer of 1850. This is an offer, okay? Or I may want to, entice him a bit and go down maybe to 21 or to 20. Okay, so the sellers can also come down, just like you, the buyers, can also come up. Let's go back to our trade. So here we see you have an open trade for 1850. Now, before we cancel this trade, and I want to quickly answer that yes, your fees are refunded when you cancel orders. We don't take fees on non-filled orders. Let's go to the trade history and just look at what we have here. We have an open order to buy one. Let's highlight this. We have an open order to buy 1 Bitcoin at 1850. You can see the status is open, which means it has not been filled, and the value of the order is 1850. If you go to your other screen here on the account history, you can see that we took an escrow of that 1850, and we also took the fee out as a temporary measure in anticipation of the sale. Once the sale is made, everything remains as is. If you were to cancel this order, you will see the fee refunded, and we're about to do that. Let's go to buy and sell BTC. Let's press the cancel button. You'll notice that your Canadian balance did increase now, because we always reserve the amount you put open orders on in your Canadian balance, because we want to make that Canadian balance available to whoever wants to fill that order. So that is another thing I should have covered, I guess. Let's go back to account history. Now you can see this fee has been refunded, and the escrow amount of 1850 has been refunded. So see how we have two records here that took the fee out and the escrow amount, which means we're reserving that 1850 for the person that wants to fill that order. And because you canceled the order, we see that refunded. Now there's no mention of the word cancel on this screen, okay? But on trade history, you will see the word cancel. Okay? So you sort of have to use the trade history and the account history together to see what's going on. All right, so that is how you put in orders that are not part of the market and cancel them. Let's quickly now go through partial fills. Okay, so we're going to do open trades, and you're going to see that you want to buy Bitcoins. Okay, you want to buy Bitcoins right now, and you want 6 Bitcoins, but you're not willing to pay more than $23. That's the most you want to pay for your Bitcoins. Okay, you want 6 Bitcoins. You know that there's not enough at 22, so you want to pay no more than 23. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to trade. We're going to say I want to buy 6 Bitcoins. I'm willing to pay up to 23. The system is intelligent enough, doesn't matter how many zeros you have. The system is intelligent enough to fill you at the best market prices. Okay, so we're always looking for your best interest. We're always going to fill you at the best prices. So we're going to press buy. You can see the whole order amount here is $139.38, and that actually becomes irrelevant if you get filled lower. By the way, the time you're doing to take all this, other people could be placing orders at lower values, and that's actually going to benefit you if that happens. Watch what happens here. We're going to confirm. Now, what just happened? Well, you only got filled. Let's go to your trade history here. Before we do that, let's just go over this. So what happened was you took out Mr. 22 and Mr. 23. You got 1 Bitcoin at 22 and you got 1 Bitcoin at 23. Okay? And you have now an order in the system, a partial order, to buy the remaining 4 Bitcoins at 23. So you have just become the highest bidder at 23, and your original value of your order was 6 Bitcoins, but 2 of them were filled, so that's why you see here 4 out of 6. So let's go to trade. Let's look at your open trade right here. That open trade is the same thing that's in open books. All these open trades, by the way, are in the open trades link in the upper right. Let's go to your trade history. And you can see here your open order and your trade history. Let's go to your account history, where you will see your 1 Bitcoin you purchased right here at $22. So let me just select this. This is the 1 Bitcoin you purchased at $22. Notice that the time on the left is the same, 11:24 a.m., 11:24 a.m. This is the 1 Bitcoin here you purchased at $23. Here is the cumulative fee on both those transactions. And here is how much is remaining in escrow for your open order, for your open trade. Okay? Now, if you go to trade history, you'll see a very important field here called requested. Requested versus price per BTC. Now, requested will eventually show the price that you requested, and the price per BTC will show you the price we could fill you at. Now, notice these are the same because the functionality is not in place right now to show that. But eventually you'll be able to see that, yes, I requested 23, but I was filled at 22 on this screen. But on this screen over here, you can see that that happened on this screen. So on the account history screen, you can see that, yes, I in fact was filled at 22. But the purpose of the requested column on the trade history was intended for that very situation, to show that the price you requested is actually higher than the price you got filled at. Okay, and that just tells you that we're filling you at the best possible prices. Okay, so I hope that sheds some light on things. You can see now we have an open trade for this dollar amount. If you don't like this trade, you can cancel it, of course, get your money back in your CAD. What I recommend to people that want to buy large amounts of Bitcoin is look down this order list and do exactly that. Put a price. If you want to take out these top 3 guys, say 26 and say 3 Bitcoins, and if you press go, you'll get 1 Bitcoin at 24, 1 Bitcoin at 25, and your 3rd Bitcoin at 26. Okay? So you can put a higher price in. You can put a higher price in of what you're willing to pay for higher order amounts, like this, 26 and 3. Okay? But if you put a lower price in, let's go back to the screen. If you put a lower price in than the 24, you don't want to buy for 24, you want to buy for 23.5. Make sure that lower price is higher than the highest bidder. Or if you want to go to sleep at night and just say, okay, if the Bitcoin drops to 18, I'm going to make an order, a buy order for 18. Then you can see here on open trades that now you got 2 people willing to pay 18, this guy here and you're one of them. Because you put your order in after his, he gets filled first. If the price is identical, the person that puts his order in first gets filled first. And you'll notice how it's sorted here, July 5th, 10:52 a.m., and you put it in 11:28 a.m., so you will get filled after this guy gets filled. All right? So there's a quick little rundown of what's going on, and I will continue to explain as we change and continue to post videos. Thanks for watching, everyone, and please use Vertex for your buying and selling Bitcoin needs. Thank you.